Latasha, Tamika, Tiny, and Candy. They were just 4 ordinary teenagers from Atlanta, Georgia who could sing. And by sing, I really mean sang. They also had an edge to them that set them apart from any other 90s female R&B act. Their group, called Xscape, dominated the era with 3 platinum albums and a style that fused R&B and hip-hop with homegrown gospel harmonies. The group's talent, however, would also become their undoing, as personal rivalries tore apart their friendships and their music. Xscape actually began as a quintet, featuring Candy Burris, Tamika Cottle, better known as Tiny, Tamara Coggins, and sisters Latasha and Tamika Scott.
Hi, I'm Tamika Cottle.
I'm Candy Burris.
Tamika Scott. Latasha Scott.
Deborah Coggins.
And we are Xscape.
All the girls hailed from College Park, ultimately coming together while attending high school. Candy, who was in the 9th grade, Tamika, who was in the 10th, and her sister Tasha, who was in the 12th, started performing together as a trio in church. The response they got from everyone made them think that they should become an official group. Their trio then became a quartet when 15-year-old Tamara entered the picture after she and Candy met at a performing arts summer camp. They rehearsed, got their look together, and even secured a manager. They were on their way. Or so they thought. Something was still missing. Enter Tiny. Tamika knew her from back in middle school and knew she could blow, so she talked to the other girls about adding her to the group. Now, with the lineup complete, they needed a name. Xscape seemed perfect since they consider themselves an escape from the stereotype of needing to look a certain way to sing R&B music. Next was landing a record deal. The girls hooked up with manager Jabari Abdul-Samad, father of the R&B quartet The Boys. He suggested they audition for BET's popular TV series, Teen Summit. They did, and they killed it.
Hold on to your love, baby, hold on to your love. You've got to hold on.
Now they were on their way, right? Wrong. Back to the talent show circuit they went, while also working on their demo. Only 4 of the girls would get to complete that task, though. Their manager wanted Tamara out, citing her inability to sing as the reason. The decision was ultimately left up to the other girls, but he made it clear that either she goes or he goes. As we know now, Tamara did get voted out. Crazy enough, soon after she left, their manager opted to leave too. He was replaced with Ian Burke, who helped develop other Atlanta acts like Arrested Development and TLC. In early 1993, Ian got a call from a young producer by the name of Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine was already familiar with Xscape since the group sang at his birthday party the year before. He was now starting his own label and looking to sign his first act. Before they knew it, Xscape became that first act signed to So So Def. Now they were finally on their way. Later that same year, the group released their debut album titled Hummin' Comin' At Ya. Recorded in just 2 weeks, it became a critical and commercial success, peaking at number 17 on the Billboard 200 and number 3 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart. Their debut single, Just Kickin' It, shot to number 1 on the R&B chart and stayed there for several weeks.
I tell them to kick off your shoes and relax your feet, oh baby. Down to the Xscape.
Their second single, Understanding, made it to the top spot on the chart as well, while both tracks also became top 10 pop hits on the Billboard Hot 100.
What I need from you is understanding.
Little may people know, Jermaine was the one to dress the girls in baggy clothes in neutral colors. He wanted the focus to be on the vocals and not how sexy they could look. It couldn't have been more well received, as the girls soon noticed that everywhere they went, their fans were dressing just like them. The celebration of their immediate success ended up being short-lived after finding out that Tamika was pregnant. Their manager at this time, Michael Malden, laid out her options to her. She could either terminate the pregnancy and stay in the group, or have the baby and get kicked out. Tamika had no intention of doing the former, so she accepted having to leave the group. Her sister, though, wasn't having it. Tasha made it known that if Tamika left, she would too. Of course, neither Tamika nor Tasha went anywhere. Tamika had her baby, and life went on. The group's second album, Off the Hook, was released in 1995. It peaked at a lower position than their debut on the Billboard 200, number 23 to be exact, but captured the same high position on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart coming in at number 3. The lead single, Feels So Good, made it into the top 40 and became a top 10 hit on the R&B chart. When the music video for the song dropped, it was clear that the group had undergone a substantial transformation. They felt it was needed because even though their fans loved their original look, their peers in the industry definitely had a more negative opinion about it. Probably the most prominent of them all came from the notorious B.i.G. when he let loose on his 1994 track, Just Playing Dreams.
I fucked with Paul before I fucked them ugly ass Xscape bitches.
According to Tiny, he later apologized, sadly just minutes before his untimely death. Tasha felt that she took the brunt of the group's criticism due to her weight and constantly being referred to as the big girl. Off the Hook's follow-up single, Who Can I Run To, did even better, climbing to number 8 on the Hot 100 and number 1 on the R&B chart. Over the next couple of years, the group was featured on a number of other hit singles, including the remix version of Mariah Carey's Always Be My Baby and MC Lyte's Keep On Keepin' On, as well as several movie soundtracks, including Love Jones and Soul Food. As the group was dominating the charts, though, dissension among the members was creeping in. To make matters worse, Tasha's boyfriend, Rocky Bivens, became Xscape's new manager. Since a clear bias emerged, that arrangement wasn't going to work out with all involved, so another person was brought in to co-manage. When it was time to go back into the studio to begin work on their next project, tensions among the ladies were at an all-time high, especially between Kandi and Tasha. According to Tasha's sister and Rocky, the producers that they were working with wanted her to sing lead more, which they believed didn't sit well with Kandi. Eventually, Tasha just didn't want to sing altogether for fear of letting down either her group or the producers. Her next step would shake the foundation of the group to its core. She was going solo. According to Kandi, though, the rest of them already knew that before the recording of their third album because Tasha had told them that was her plan. Another bomb involving one of the members was about to drop as well. Kandi and Jermaine were dating. Sort of.
We hooked up a couple times, and that was it. That was it. It wasn't that deep.
Naturally, the other members didn't like the obvious conflict of interest dynamic that their involvement with each other created. Then, one day, during a group meeting, things between Kandi and Tasha finally boiled over. According to Kandi, Tasha was taking personal shots at her, going on about things that had nothing to do with music. Eventually, the verbal argument turned physical. Xscape's third, and to date, last album, titled Traces of My Lipstick, dropped in 1998. It debuted at number 28 on the Billboard 200 and at number 6 on the top R&B hip-hop album chart. It produced 2 top 10 pop and R&B hits, The Arms of the One Who Loves You and My Little Secret. The achievement didn't matter all that much to the group, though, since the animosity between everyone was the worst it had ever been, and something needed to give.
It was just a constant argument, negativity, fighting, it was just terrible by that point.
All that took effect on me, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm not gonna sit around for you to continue to bash me and make you money and help you to get to the next position or whatever. Something inside me was just like, it's over. I'm just gonna bow out gracefully.
And just like that, Xscape was over. Kandi and Tiny attempted to make a go of things as a duo called Cat, but that venture proved unsuccessful. They did, however, score their first Grammy for Best R&B Song for TLC's 1999 smash hit, No Scrubs, which they co-wrote. Kandi signed a solo deal with Columbia and released her debut album, Hey Kandi, in 2000. It ended up doing much better overseas than in the US. But what happened to Tasha's solo effort? Well, after several years apart, Tiny and the Scott sisters decided it was time to reform Xscape. They also wanted Kandi to rejoin. As far as she was concerned, though, she didn't see the point when their past issues with one another had still not been resolved. When Kandi declined, she was asked to sign over her rights to the Xscape name. She did, and the original 3 plus new member, Keisha Miles, went on to do their thing. Once again, though, the women's dealings with the opposite sex continued to play a major role in another inevitable demise. Tiny was now in a relationship with rapper T.I., and the other members felt he started holding her back. Rocky, who was now Tasha's husband, was also still holding down his position as manager, but the other members wanted to start fresh with someone new. Tasha wasn't having it, so after only a couple of years, the group disbanded. Again. The group's chances of the original quartet ever reuniting were all but dashed in 2007 after Tamika gave an interview to Hot 97 radio station in which she insinuated that Xscape broke up because Kandi had slept with Jermaine. She also claimed that Kandi had hooked up with Jermaine's father as well as others in the So So Def Recordings crew. According to Tamika, it was in retaliation to years of Kandi saying in interviews that her sister was the reason Xscape broke up. Tamika claimed that wasn't true, while Kandi doubled down and stood firm on her belief that if it wasn't for Tasha wanting to go solo, Xscape would have continued making albums.
She goes and dogged me out her whole entire interview and lied on me. I was so done because even though Tamika was Tasha's sister, me and her at points, we were really, really close. And I couldn't believe she would do me like that. I really couldn't. For her to do that, it just felt like she really had hatred for me. I just didn't want to deal with that no more. I just was like, I was done.
Tamika took the opportunity during the filming of the group's Unsung episode in 2015 to make a public apology to Kandi. In June 2017, all 4 original members of Xscape had their first performance together in over 18 years at that year's BET Awards. 2 months after that, they announced a reunion tour with stops in over 24 cities. 2 new singles titled Wifed Up and Dream Killer were also released. Later that same year, Kandi indicated in numerous interviews her lack of interest in recording new music with Xscape, stating that she was pursuing other artistic avenues. Consequently, Tiny, Tasha, and Tamika formed the subunit Xscape, using the number 3 in place of the E. The trio went on to record several original songs that were later included in their 2018 EP titled Here For It. Around this time, the entire group also participated in a limited reality series called Xscape, Still Kickin' It. In 2021, Versus presented a pre-Mother's Day battle featuring both Xscape and another popular 90s female R&B group, SWV. The quartet came back together again to celebrate their Lady of Soul honor at the 2022 Soul Train Awards. However, without fail at this point, the experience had to be marred by more drama. Ahead of receiving their award, the ladies all walked the carpet wearing metallic looks. One person in particular, though, really stood out in the photos. Several people pointed out that Tasha's dress made her look like the lead singer of the group, and some even alleged that she purposely tried to steal the spotlight. She saw the internet chatter and decided to address it. On Instagram, she posted pics from the big night and noted in the caption that she, quote, didn't get the memo, end quote, about attire. Her comment prompted Kandi to hop in the comments to dispel her claims. According to Kandi, Tasha chose to have a separate stylist from the group, so the rest of Xscape isn't to blame for the fashion faux pas. Tasha's stylist did chime in, claiming that he was not informed about the color scheme for the evening. To keep the momentum of the extra attention their Versus battle gave them, Xscape and SWV signed on for another reality TV experience. Their show, SWV and Xscape, The Queens of R&B, premiered in March 2023. It showcased their personal and professional lives, as well as explored the idea of doing a joint tour. Tasha had, once again, distanced herself from the group the previous year, following a dispute between her husband/manager and a promoter. She switched gears musically and began to focus on solo endeavors in the gospel genre. She also had major beef with her sister after Tamika brought up the issue of Tasha stealing her royalties. When she realized that she wasn't receiving her checks, Tamika did some digging. Lo and behold, it was because they were being deposited in her sister's husband's bank account. Xscape did end up going out on tour, but did so as a trio, since Tasha decided she didn't want to be a part of it. Even though she hasn't joined Kandi, Tiny, and her sister on stage in a while, they continue to maintain that Tasha is still an official member of Xscape.